Brother Frank GoFundMe for Michael Fazio January 3, 2022. Now. Now hear this: the Bummer versus the Plumber in Cebu live stream will be live on Sunday morning Philippines time 10 a.m. Eastern Standard 10 p.m. Eastern. We will discuss the Bummer's philosophy on stalking and one foreigner he believes should be able to sneak attack another foreigner with no repercussions whatsoever, especially fat man, whom the Bummer called a POS. LOL, look who's talking. LOL. Especially the fact that the Bummer went into hiding from a possible attack, and yet he thinks no repercussions should occur between expat sneak attacks on one another, which begs the question, why is the Bummer in hiding if he's not afraid of anyone? And the bigger question is when I ask, will the Plumber in Cebu release the address of the Bummer's current hideout? Brother Frank, when will you share the lats and longs? Repercussions the Bummer in Cebu hideout? Is it about top become public knowledge? Only Brother Frank knows for sure.
Amen.
We know that the Plumber in Cebu got the address from his lawyers, and we know he will share this info, but when? We await this trove of knowledge, including waypoints along with longs and lats, with bated breath. And if you recall, the Plumber in Cebu feels the same way. Put them all in a field with baseball bats, etc. The Bummer stated this in his last live stream, that it was okay to stalk Michael Fazio, but the Bummer went into hiding for fear of his well-being and possibly life. I see some problems with this train of thought. Now a bit of humor. Before the fall of the Bummer in Cebu, my brother Frankie B, he loves me man, is talking so nice to me like a comfort nurse. His new lease on life is to be free of strife yet. The next thing you know, he will be doing a GoFundMe for Mikey. Mikey will like it. He wished me well and a safe trip from the hospital. He loves me man.
He loves
so
me,
gather
man.
round and let's sing some Kumbaya. To the man, the myth, the legend, my friend, and yours, who has given us countless hours of peace, love and joy. So to all who gave me warm wishes and blessings, prayers etc. Thank you much. I am home now and I have had numerous tests done, and I'm gonna thank the Frank for his insights regarding obesity and high blood, as well as the high blood. Turns out his research has some validity and some of what he said is correct. There was some inflammation of the right leg and I was treated with special antibiotics, and that is under control. With some bed rest and a change in diet I will be okay. Thanks for letting me watch so many people make so many insane guesses as to my condition, as I observed this all for the last few days. You people are a riot. The best of the best comments below. 1. The leg is off, stuffed and mounted was the comment of the week. I forgot who said that. 2. Don C finally realized I live in a much nicer house than him, was a close second, LOL. 3. I love the idea that my brother from a different mother Frankie B wished me well. 4. That BAMMER is praying for me. Priceless, a praying mantis praying for me, that's gold. But still called me a p.o.sn a dirtbag, and a coward, and says it's okay to attack Fazio but not the Bummer in Cebu. Just remember Forrest Gump girl said _run Bummer run. Thanks for the laughs. Shout out to Free Bird for the honest and defensive comments. Go go Bo boss sister. Scott Del Fuego. Sim. Steve 25901. You still have flip-flop issues as a two-faced troll. And all those who wished me well except the Bummer. I am doing just fine, and as stated, you people in general are sinister trolls at best and pure scum at worst. As for the scum who said bribe Daisy May and she will give you information, that will never happen. So I will get back to business and start my flat earth proofs ASAP. Here is a starter video for you round ballers to consider. 2000 years of science confirming the earth is flat and stationary, and not a one of these proofs can be proven false. 200 proofs earth is not a spinning ball. https://www.youtube.com/watch?mark v=sign x0EGB_v_t=x09TZM&t=.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I posted that in my community page, and I've been playing around with my computer and just found this new voice recognition speech thing. This is the first time I've ever done that. But I want to talk to you people while some of you are still here, that tomorrow, Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, I'm going to do a video, and it's going to be a question and answer video on who believes the Earth is a round ball and who believes the Earth is flat. And then I'll let you guys post your opinions and why you believe what you want to believe, and I will try to refute them. Most of them would be simple enough to refute. And again, this video that's posted in my community page has several dozen experiments that have been done throughout the last 2,000 years, actually, to prove that the Earth is flat, not because a person said it, but because they scientifically proved beyond a shadow of a doubt by many different types of experiments. We'll go over some of those tomorrow, but one of the simplest ways to know that the Earth is flat is that water seeks its own level, and 2/3 plus of the Earth is water. So it all seeks its own level. And I'm going to go over some of the statistics. For instance, the Suez Canal, I believe, is 100 miles, and it doesn't rise or fall even just a few inches, just depending on probably more the wind than any sort of curvature. But in addition to that, the Navy has a weapon that shoots 93 miles across the surface of the ocean, a laser beam, which would be impossible if there was any curvature, and at that point there would be miles of curvature. But also, I have a little bit of pilot training and experience as flying a small engine aircraft, Cherokee Warrior 2, but also ultralights. And I have a few friends of mine that are pilots, and I discussed this with them within the last 2 weeks and asked them the question, or the piece proof that I'm going to give you now. While they're in flight level, traveling at flight level, do they ever dip the front of the plane down while the plane is traveling 585 miles per hour, which would require a dipping down every 30 seconds of 2,785 feet if the Earth was a ball. Otherwise, in an half hour's time, the plane would be 35 miles above the surface of the Earth, which is basically in the atmosphere. That would not be possible. And both pilots who watch my videos actually on a regular basis confirmed that they never have to dip the plane down. And that, of course, coincides with another video I'm going to be working with tomorrow. How do gyroscopes work? But in brief, I will tell you how a gyroscope works. A gyroscope can be set at any angle or angle of inclination. It can be set horizontal, level to the surface of the ocean, or it could be set at 5 degrees, or it could be set at a vertical attitude. But what will not happen in a gyroscope is if you change the direction of the aircraft, the gyroscope is going to maintain the original attitude that it took on when you spun up the gyro. I'm talking slow, so because this is new information for most of you. So in other words, if you set the gyroscope at a level position and you started out in New York City and you brought the plane up to 33,000 feet and your gyroscope was set level, that plane would remain flight level at 33,000 feet until you changed the attitude of the plane. The gyroscope will not change the attitude. It will not follow any curvature because it doesn't do that. It will bring the plane back to a flight level if you bring the plane attitude up or down. You can dip the plane down and the gyroscope will bring the plane back to a plane level flight attitude. And with the addition of other electronics, it will sense the height above the Earth and it will bring you back to 33,000 feet if the instrumentation is set as such. It will only do that if you have the instrumentation set. So in other words, if you have a flight level gyroscope which maintains its level and you dip the plane down to 500 feet, it'll bring the plane back to level, flight level, but unless you have the additional avionics to bring it back up to 33,000 feet, that's where it will stay. Moving past that, the two pilots I spoke with, they both agree wholeheartedly that the Earth is flat. They will not say it. They will not come on my page and admit it, but they confirmed that they never dipped the plane down. Now, in addition to that, we have Uncle Jay. Uncle Jay was, he was by far the smartest of all my uncles technically wise. Any kind of electrical or avionics or any kind of, not avionics, but electronics, anything that had to do with electric, Uncle Jay knew about or could figure it out. He was in charge of 12 Bell South facilities, and he worked for Bell South for his whole life. But before he worked for Bell South, he worked as a submariner, and his job was gyroscopes and batteries. And he explained to me how gyroscopes work back in 1977. And I had said to him, how does the gyroscope know for the curvature of the Earth? And he said, there is no adjustment for any curvature. You leave California, you set the depth at 100 feet, spin up the gyros, and you traverse, cross the Pacific Ocean, and it never changes 100-foot surface level to the surface. Doesn't account for curvature, nor does any surveyor or builder of a canal or a railway. No architects, surveyors, or builders of long, flat, plane type traversing methodologies, whether it be a canal like the Suez Canal, that the datum line of the Suez Canal was set at 28 feet, and for 100 miles, it maintained a level datum line of 28 feet. A railroad might cross all of Europe through thousands of kilometers of mountain range. It never the height of the railroad tracks don't vary much more than a few inches every 10 miles or so, because the what they call the puller or the stoker would not be able to pull it up an incline. In addition to that, we're going to talk about rivers and streams. Like the Mississippi is 2,000 plus miles long. Well, if the earth was curved, water would have to flow uphill for several hundred miles and then flow downhill. But that does not happen. The Nile River flows for over 1,000 miles, I believe, or was it the Congo? They flow for over 1,000 miles, and there's only 1 foot of inclination downward towards the ocean in 1,000 miles. The earth is flat. Whether you people choose to believe that the earth is flat or not, I wish for you to watch this video, 200 proofs the earth is not a spinning ball. And when you take out your pencil and paper, like you should, if you're going to do any kind of research, take out a pencil and paper and write down any questions that you may have about whether or not the earth is a spinning ball. And based on the video, it's only an hour or so long. Based on the video, if you have a question, I'll try to go over your question as best I can without being facetious, and I don't wish for you to be facetious or condescending, because you don't understand physics is not necessarily a basis for your thought process to be true and correct. Physics is pretty much set in stone. Water flows downhill. Any plumber knows that. My brother Frank, the plumber in Cebu, he knows water flows downhill. He's my brother from another mother that's been defending me all week against the forces in lower Cebu. My brother from another mother has given me good information about infection and about dieting and blood pressure. Some of his research is quite well educated, comes from a well-educated, what we would call that, a database of education. Just like his current video, the plumber's video, where he explained how the pump is going to pump water to his kitchen and his bathroom. An excellent explanation of how a pump works and how it's going to work in his domicile, in his man castle. So you guys think that my brother Frank, the plumber in Cebu, he has knowledge. Now, once I get Brother Frank on board with this flat earth thing, him and I are going to start a little seminar group somewhere in mid-Cebu, and we will do flat earth dissertations. Maybe we'll do it like on odd days I'll do the dissertation, and on even days Brother Frank will do the dissertations. But I believe that Brother Frank has it within him to move into a new realm of conversation. To be able to conversate. Scotty, you know the plumber only got brown on his nose because he wants something. I can't. Something from that's not Scotty. That's not true, Scotty. Come on, Scotty. Plumber in Cebu. He that brown on his nose. He was, dude. We're Italian. We're from New York. We're just brothers from a different mother. That happens to me all the time. I get brown on my nose. What happens is, Scotty, let me explain this to you. This is when he should elevate his mind and soak it into the flat earth wisdom. That's right. Thank you, Scotty. But let me tell you, Scotty, Freebird, you, my friend, you made me very, 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 very kind thoughts to you, Freebird. The things that you have said knowing that you're going against the consensus. I can't tell you how much I thank you. Intelligently, you have gone against the consensus without making them make you an issue. So thank you very much for that. But the brown, to get back to Scotty and Freebird, I have brown on my nose. I do it all the time. I get brown on my nose. I'm not getting brown on my nose now from brown nosing somebody. We are brothers from another mother, Frankie B and me. We're brothers. He loves me, man. He loves me, man. You got to understand. I love him. I love you, bro. The brown is coming. The brown is coming. The brown is coming because we brought our Italian cockroach killers, the shoes, the pointy shoes from New York with us. We used to, I forgot the exact name of it. They're really pointy Italian shoes, and they're mostly those are brown shoes. And we Freebird. Oh my God, he's green. Thanks. Oh, you're my first subscriber. There was another gentleman named Michael. But thank you very much, Freebird. I appreciate that. Just to show the love, even if it's just for 1 month, that'd be great. Thank you very much. And Freebird has, see, you guys think I'm kidding, but the brown on my nose and the brown on Brother Frankie B's nose, that's from when we polish our shoes, from the sweat that we pour out on the polishing process, because we do it by hand. We have a tendency to rub our noses and wipe the sweat off our foreheads with our hand, and that brown is from the brown shoe polish. That's where the brown comes from. So, Scotty, that was a misnomer on your behalf. But that's okay, because like the flat earth, my brother from another mother, Frankie B, and me, you remember this, he loves me, man. He's been like a, not, I wouldn't say a wet nurse, he's been like a comfort nurse to me over the last week when I was in the hospital. And he was, at first he wasn't on board with me coming out of the hospital because I think it took him a day or so for him to believe, but I did take a battery of tests for blood pressure and urine analysis. My oxygen level, fortunately, my oxygen level was 97. That was the lowest reading. But my blood pressure was a little high at 150/90. And now we're waiting for the blood and urine analysis to come back. That takes 7 days. But I also had another little issue that needs to be addressed, but it's not a life or death issue. Although I did get, I laughed. I watched quite a few of the videos this week about you guys feel very confident about talking smack to people when they're not around or when you think that I'm in a hospital bed dying. You had one guy who was the comment of the week said that my leg was amputated, stuffed, and it's now hanging on a wall. Now, I actually thought that was funny, and I can't tell you why, but I thought that was funny. And Don C. finally came around. He admitted in a comment somewhere that Fazio, after watching the Brevis drive-by, or walk-by, or the Brevis, what do they call it? The Brevis stalking video. Don C. realized when he saw the natural beauty of my house, Don C. finally realized that I live in a much nicer abode than he does. And I thank Don C. for seeing his flawed logic when he said he lives better than me because he has a 12-room house with an $800 Weber grill. I have a I have a house that blends in with the Philippines. That's what I have. I have a shack. My shack is nicer than your house. And then, but there were a lot of people that put out some love for me this week. Thank you very much. And then we had the bummer. We can't forget the bummer in this upload, because the bummer. I first of all, if you believe that the bummer prays, he is the Jim and Tammy Baker of the Philippines blogging community. He is the man that will take your last dollar and tell you that it's going to a good cause, and the good cause is drinking and smoking. I don't believe that is a good cause, but if you want to give to him, like Michael McFarland, oh my God, Michael McFarland, you have got to have issues to believe that your vow in life is to give money for somebody to smoke and drink. I think that's just I think that's crazy, man. I think that's crazy. Michael McFarland, man, you must have some serious low self-esteem to have to push somebody around from two home runs and a base hit. Michael, I've known you. Actually, Michael McFarland was the first person with the green, like Freebird, and that was a long time ago. But you people that think that this is some kind of joke, that you give somebody money constantly and he never does anything with it except pee it away. It's your money. As my brother Frankie B would say, it's your money. But it's, in the end, at the end of the day, you have a man named the Bummer, the Bummer, who believes it's okay for any foreigner at any time to attack any other foreigner from the front or behind and do physical damage to that other said foreigner, whoever those two foreigners might be. The Bummer believes, and if you don't believe me, go to his video from yesterday. Go to the 54-minute and 35-second mark and listen to how he said, I don't believe you went to jail for hitting that fat piece of shit, quote unquote. You should be able to hit any foreigner. Any foreigner should be able to fight any foreigner at any time. Nobody should go to jail for fighting two foreigners, one another. So basically, he's living in a land that the law says that's not allowed. So he's basically stating that you should be able to break the law, wanton breaking of the law. And also, it should be okay for you to attack another foreigner, whether it's from the front or the back, or from the side, whether you're twice the man's size or half his age. Bummer says it's okay. It should be okay for one foreigner to beat up another foreigner. He put no registration or rules on that. He just made clear issue that you should be able to attack another foreigner at any time in the day and night for any given reason and not have any repercussions. And I think that's wrong. So, Michael McFarland, that is what you, Michael McFarland, by giving that man money, you are adding to the problem. You're not fixing any problems. You're not helping with a solution. You are, in what they call, empowering him to believe that nonsense, that to break the law in a foreign country is okay. Now, I could play that part for you because I did record it with the comments. But in addition to that, he also gave Brevis free rein to go stalking me at my house and take a video of the outside of my house without my permission and post it on YouTube. I think that's called stalking. So the Bummer believes that stalking is okay, and to attack a man from any direction at any time of the day or night is okay, and that there should be no repercussions, and that I'm a coward somehow which he doesn't know the whole story as to the where, wants, and whys and hows of everything that transpired. He just makes this stuff up in his little head. And he's going to have a very rude awakening when I do eventually tell people why I did what I did when I did it. But that's besides the point. At this time, the bummer believes it's okay for any foreigner to attack any other foreigner, front or from the back, do permanent and or physical harm to the foreigner, and you should be able to get away with it. Well, if that's the case, why is he so paranoid about people finding his house? If he believes that people should be able to find his house and pummel his skinny little frail body into the ground, why does he believe that would be okay? I don't think it's okay. Otherwise, a lot of other people don't think it's okay, but he thinks it's okay. So what I think is Frankie B, my brother from a different mother. I believe Frankie B should release the Kraken, post the lungs and lats of the bummer. And let's see what falls, how the cards fall and lay. Or let's see how the cards play out. Bummer, you think it's okay? This is not the first time the bummer has said it's okay for somebody to go to Fazio's house and beat him up. Bummer made a video saying how funny he thought it was. And that he fell on the floor laughing for days, maybe weeks after that happened. Bummer, what if it happened to you? Oh, wait a minute, it happened to you and you cried like a little girl. You went to the hospital, you called the police. Anybody comes near me, I'm going to call the police. And that was before anybody even went to your house. So basically, I was under attack, was attacked, was physically harmed, did call the police, and you, only the threat of someone attacking you, and you were all ready to call the police. You had them on speed dial because of the duplistic nature of your little brain. It doesn't listen to what it says. It doesn't comprehend what it spews. So my brother from a different mother, although he believes similar things at certain times in the past, that's all the past now, my brother from a different mother, he's seen the light. You, bummer, are still spewing hatred towards myself for sure, and encouraging people to come to my house and do whatever it is that they want to do because you believe it's okay, and you have all of these trolls on your channel. And if you think that the consensus, because there is a consensus that what you believe is right, even though what you believe is against the law, you're going to pay a price one day for that. And my brother from another mother is going to make you pay that price. Dude, you are going to pay the price. That's the one thing that I can say about that. Bummer, I'm going to pray for Fazio. And then the next day, it's okay that guy got the shit beat out of him. He's a piece of shit, quote unquote, is what he said. He deserved it. He's a coward, quote unquote. At the 54-minute and 35-second mark in yesterday's video, that statement, plain as day, from 54:35 to 55:45, a minute and 10 seconds, is him degrading me and making it okay for one foreigner to attack another foreigner. Bummer, you have a duplistic nature. Not only do you have a duplistic nature, but you have a very small understanding of the law in the Philippines. And we'll see how that works out for you in the end, because I'm not going to judge whether or not you're guilty or not guilty, but I will say this. I heard you, Bummer, I heard you say for months, I'm not going to stop bothering you until you leave the Philippines. I'm going to do this every day until you leave the Philippines. Those were your words, Bummer. You actually made somebody file a lawsuit against you because you promised that he was never going to get a break from you. And you said it 8 or 10 times a day, 7 days a week for months. You said, I'm not going to stop until you go back to America. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop until you do this. I'm not going to stop until you do that. We have the videos. The videos are there. They're probably going to get used, but you made the video. You said, I will not stop. I will never stop until you go back to America and face charges against you for a very specific thing. And although you may be on the higher ground with your thought process, you are not allowed to say such on YouTube. And you did. Repeatedly, after I asked you, told you, explained to you that's wrong to say. You caused your problems for yourself. And you can't take a hint, dude. You just couldn't take a hint. Don't tell me what to... Nobody's telling you what to do. They're telling you how to save your Badinskis. And you chose not to. Because you don't have the wherewithal to understand that what you were doing and saying was wrong. And you believed it to be okay because you're an American and he's an American. Well, it's not okay, dude. You did this to yourself. And I have to actually thank you for that, because now you are going to prove whether or not the law in the Philippines is just, and what you are allowed to say and not say. And the great Alo de Winter and I have talked about this, that your case, as far as cyber libel, is going to determine what is going to be allowed on all future diatribes and dialogues and live streams. Your case is going to prove whether or not the great Alo de Winter can degrade a person against the RA codes. Your case is going to determine whether or not Roberto is going to be able to slander and degrade someone, and will he be breaking the RA codes. Your case, BAMMER, is going to help the YouTube community more than you know. And in regards to that, a lot of people behind the scenes are grateful that you will be what is called the canary in the gold mine to check on what cyber libel is and what cyber libel is not, and how far the Philippines government will accept and what in regards to cyber libel. So the great BAMMER is going to be used as a canary in a gold mine to set the standards for cyber libel in the years to come. So we thank you for that. We thank you, as they say on Star Trek, we thank you for your sacrifice. And you have sacrificed a lot to prove the boundaries of cyber libel. So if anybody has a question, I'd be happy to answer that question. Okay, so thank you very much, Freebird. Freebird is a member, my first member since Michael McFarland, the man who donates to the man who drinks and smokes, the smoking man. Scotty says, I feel like I've witnessed a baptism. Freebird finally found his wings on this channel. I am here to learn, says Freebird, like a virgin. I'm innocent. Thank you very much, Freebird. Scotty says, Don C has seen the light. Now, Don C, moving past what Don C is, he's a troll. But Don C is a professional troll. And Don C, from what I can see, Don C watches every nuance of every video, of every blogger, and remembers it as such, and then he throws out something that's either funny or sarcastic. But one thing that Don C has is a good memory. And I want Don C to remember that a few days ago he said after watching Brevis's stalking video, he realizes that Michael Fazio has a much nicer domicile than he does. And Don C. has seen the light, as Scotty said. Don C. has seen the light. Scotty says, I put some money in Barry's hat on occasion. It's for a thick ribeye. Yeah, okay, Scotty, that's good. I'm not going to say don't give him money, because it's not my money. Like my brother from another mother, the great Frankie B, says, it's your money. You can do what you want with it. But, Scotty, let me ask you a question. Do you think he can taste the ribeye? This is what is known as Socratic questioning. Socratic questioning is to me to ask you a question. Socratic, S-O-C-R-A-T-I-C. Socratic questioning is for me to ask you a question that you know the answer to. If he smokes 3 packs of cigarettes a day, do you think he can taste the nuance of the flavor in the meat of a ribeye? And if you have ever smoked, you should know the answer to that. But Socratic questioning would mean you could go look up whether or not someone that smokes 3 packs a day can taste anything, even pure salt on the tongue. You cannot taste if you smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day. So your Socratic question for the day, Scotty, is do you think that the bummer can taste that $20+ a pound meat that you give him for edible purpose? The great Aloe de Winter. The great Aloe de Winter, my friend. And I mean the great Aloe de Winter. You guys have no idea how smart Aloe de Winter is. You can't appreciate him because you don't know how smart he is until you've communicated with him. He has never once, ever, never has Aloe ever forgotten the most minute detail of any of our conversations. So we can banter back and forth with the nuance of a conversation that occurred 6 months ago and laugh at that nuance because we both remember the same entirety of the conversation. Michael Dowdy, good afternoon, Michael Fazio. 100% truth. It is. It's the truth. I hear other bloggers say, I'm giving you the truth. I never lied. Well, that in and of itself is a lie. So, Aloe de Winter, the great Aloe de Winter. Michael Dowdy, are you the assistant head coach of the San Francisco 49ers? No, he's not. Release the Kraken. I'm going there. Scotty, oh my God, thank you. Well, Scotty, I'm getting the potty. I'm getting the potty, Scotty, for you. Scotty, I'm getting the potty. I'll ring the bell. You people will be able to hear the bell. I will put my face in the picture frame for cash. Let's see, Scotty, Scotty gave me money. Money is the honey that makes the world go round. Now, I'm going to tell Scotty a little story. I smoked cigarettes on and off my entire life. 10 years no smoking, 3 years smoking, 5 years no smoking, 5 years smoking, since I was about 17. 2 years ago and 6 weeks, on December 2nd of 2020, I stopped smoking. I have never had another cigarette. To your chagrin, I've never had another cigarette. I've wanted one because that's just part of quitting, but I've never smoked another cigarette. And in regards to that, I quit smoking. This is true. I quit smoking because it was $60 a month. Now, I'm really good at math, so I'll do this fast. 12 times 60 is $720 a month. That is almost, it's 2 months and a half rent It's 2.5 months rent. Or it's at $30 a month, it's 2 years of my internet, plus more than 2 years. It's 2 years of my internet and my electric combined. 1 year's cigarettes. Plus, they were going to raise it again. And I said, this is crazy. It's killing me, and I'm paying for something that's just pure detrimental to my health. So I quit because of the cost of cigarettes, not because of the health reasons. Although I knew it slowed me down, but that's not why I quit. But I will tell you this. When I smoked a pack a day of Winston, strongest cigarette pretty much in the Philippines, a very strong cigarette. I couldn't even taste salt on my tongue. I could take the salt shaker and put salt on my tongue. You cannot taste. So, Scotty, when you or anybody else, Michael McFarland, when you give the BAMMER money for a ribeye, he can't taste it. He certainly doesn't know how to cook it. There's no doubt that he doesn't know how to cook chicken or meat. He cooks chicken 7 inches away from the coals, 6 inches away from the coals. Takes 50 minutes, 55 minutes for him to cook 3 chicken breasts. Chicken should be cooked 4 inches away. 4 inches away from the coals. The coals should all be red hot, and you should have to turn the chicken over back and forth. You have to stand by the grill and flip it. Same thing with a good piece of meat. 4 inches away, let it cook, sear it, if you can do that by really getting those coals hot at first. But chicken should take 17 or 18 minutes. He has to cook the chicken for 55 minutes and the skin is still soft. So he doesn't know how to cook at all. He wastes charcoal. The chicken doesn't cook any better for 55 minutes than if you cook it for 17 minutes, because if you cook it 4 inches away from the coals, it gets crisp on both sides. That's what gives the chicken flavor, and it sears in the juices. So you're giving him money to buy ribeye steaks. It's your money. Like my brother Frankie B always says, it's your money. You give him whatever you want. But he can't taste it, and he don't know how to cook it. And dude, and I could give him advice. I'm going to throw out that barbecue. It has a hole in the bottom of it. Are you that undereducated that you can't fix that hole? You can fix that hole for about $1, and it'll never be a hole again. Dude, you have no skill sets at all. Nothing. You don't help around the house. You tell your girlfriend, that's mine and that's mine. We got to pack that. Why don't you do it? You should have did all of that. That girl works 70 hours a week, and she has to come and pack your things up to move to another location. And by the way, I'm not buying why you moved. I'm not buying it. If it was 6,000 pesos more a month for electric and water and gas, you consume that much. You should have been a more conservative renter. The landlord sees you leave every light in the house on for how many, 18 months. He probably said, look, this guy, the landlord, you don't think the landlord noticed when he was watching your videos that every light is on and that you leave the refrigerator door open for a minute, 2 minutes when you bring stuff back and forth to the table? The landlord sees that because the landlord's paying for it. The landlord knew why he wanted extra money. You are just a very non-conservative usurper, waster of energy. You waste gas to cook ramen noodles for 35 minutes one day. It's a 3-minute cook. So we got to get back to the comments. So, Scotty, you give to whoever you want. He doesn't taste the thing. He only wastes that beautiful meat on his deadened taste buds. that don't work anymore. Scotty, salamat. Thank you, from Michael Fazio and Daisy May. Scotty says, I condemn all attacks. Okay, then here we go. Thank you, Scotty. Scotty says, I condemn all attacks, whether from the front, side, or behind, above, or below, or any other direction. And well, you should. If two people want to go at it, and they make an agreement to do so, well, that's their agreement. It should be under a set of regulations. And, and we're in a foreign country, got to have some kind of rules. But to attack somebody, I almost felt bad for the bummer when I heard he was attacked. But he lied about the attack. I'm not going to feel bad for somebody that lied about whether... I don't know that he got attacked for the reasons as such. I don't know that's true. There's no proof. One bummer story. This is a good story, by the way. Bummer story number 2, attack. A man walks up to him with a gun. The man from the sari store from 50 feet away walks up behind the man with the gun and hits him on the head. Story number 1. The man falls down. The gun falls on the floor. Bummer kicks the gun away. The police come. Bummer picks up the gun, gives the gun to the police. The man is then handcuffed and arrested for attempted murder. Story number 2. The man goes to the station, gets arrested for attempted murder and possession of a gun, which is 12 years in jail in the Philippines. He gets arrested for possession of a gun. Bummer goes online the next day. People ask him, including myself, where is the police report? I don't have to tell anybody any police report. That's what happened, and blocks me on my backup channel. So I don't believe the bummer. I do believe he got attacked. But the fact that he was with a gun and the man attacked him and was arrested and for attempted murder with a gun, that you think, and then the story changed a day or so later that the man somehow got released from jail. The gun is gone. There is no evidence, gun in the evidence file. The man's gone. No one knows where he went. All before he was arraigned on a weekend. That's the bummer. That's his story. And he stuck to it, but it only changed 5 times. So Scotty's saying you don't think people should be attacked. That's definitely wrong. But that was his story. And why? So he could get some money to pay the hospital bill. Aloe de Winter, trolling since 2016. Okay, got it. LOL. How are you today, Mr. De Winter? From Michael Dowdy. Michael Dowdy had the same infection on his leg as mine. He don't know how he got it. He did go to the hospital for special medication like I did, but it took me a lot longer because my wound was healing up and then it blew up. My calf muscle, but you could believe what you want. My calf muscle went from this 19 inches. 19 and a half inches is my normal calf muscle. Actually, it's 19. Okay, so my normal size calf muscle went from this size here, to 23 inches. That's bigger than most people's thighs. My calf muscle blew up like that. And I went to the hospital to get antibiotics dripped. So, and nothing life-threatening, but they did tell me that they don't know, based on the culture that I gave them from their hospital, they gave me antibiotics based on that culture that was taken 3 months ago. November 7th, it was taken. December, January, 2 months ago. So it worked, and the inflammation went down. They gave me anti-inflammatory drugs. But Michael Dowdy had the same infection. You don't know how he got it. The doctors never knew what it was. They gave him a series of antibiotics, hit and miss. Something worked, and then his leg infection went away. It took over a year. Mine is 3 years, because I'm in the Philippines and no one knew what it was. So I'm better now, much better now. I'm supposed to stay off my feet for a couple of days, but that's it. Now, movie house. The other night, I don't know who you are, movie house. Let's just give movie house one ding, one ping, like Red October. Movie house, one ping. I love that. I love that part of the movie. Just give them one ping. I love that. Movie house says, the other night was e-begging 1,400 pesos for expensive alcohol. Yeah, something called Hobnob or Knob Hill. I think that's what it was. Why not get 150 peso stuff and spend the difference on other needs? He is broke, but wants big ticket items. Well, his reasoning for not spending, well, you can't buy a bottle of liquor for less than 200 pesos. You could buy tequila for 200. But his reasoning is, I'll give you his reasoning. His reasoning is this. If he drinks tequila, he gets violent. If he drinks Tanduay rum, which is what everybody drinks, he gets violent. He can only drink top shelf rum and top shelf liquor, so he doesn't get violent. That doesn't make any sense to me, but he has an excuse for everything he needs. He is the Jim and Tammy Faye Baker of the Philippines. I am telling you, I remember every nuance of his live streams and uploads because I just have a mind to remember things that I find that are interesting. The fact that he's a prolific liar, that he is a borderline, what do they call that? The type of liar that people lie all the time? Whatever. He's one of those people that lie about everything. He lies when he said, I never said anything about your girlfriend. I never said anything about anybody. I can tell you word for word what he said about Miss Dimples. I won't, because then my video will get, I'll lose the monetization on the video, but I'll also be in trouble of breaking YouTube's guidelines. But what he said about Miss Dimples, he said those words. Now, it doesn't mean whether anybody else said those words or not. He said it. And he said he didn't say it. Of course he said it. I heard it. When I hear something, believe me, I remember it if it's important. But he lies that he can't drink Tanduay because it's a cheap rum. It makes him violent. But he could drink, I don't know, Bacardi rum. He can drink Bacardi, I think. I'm not sure. I'm just saying Bacardi because I think Bacardi's a better rum. But he likes something called Knob Hill. He said it's expensive. You are saying that he was drinking, he wanted 1,400 pesos, $30 for a bottle, when you could buy, for 200 pesos, you could buy 7 bottles of rum for 1,400 pesos. He wants, no. Tanduay's 120 pesos a bottle. So he could theoretically buy 12 bottles of rum for 1 bottle of Knob Hill. Why does it, and who is he? What has he done to deserve top shelf liquor? I'm serious about that. Has he ever had a job? Is he out there working to make money for top shelf liquor? No, he's not. He's not working for anything. He's the Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. And he's going to lose in the end, because had he put his nose to the grindstone, instead of the negativity, as Elliot Gould, not Elliot Gould, always in the negative, man. You got to move out of that. Even my brother from a different mother, Frankie B, he loves me, man. Even my brother, Frankie B, knows that the negative has to stop. It's got to stop. Otherwise, it won't stop. And if it doesn't stop, eventually it'll have to stop. He knows that. My brother from another mother, even he said it this week. The negativity has to stop. Unfortunately for the bummer, you put your face in a video and said certain things after I told you not to do that. So blame it on me. I wasn't able to convince you to not break the law. Blame it on me. Go ahead. You think it's okay for Brevis to stalk me. You think it's okay for me to be attacked, but you don't want to be attacked. But if that happens, are we supposed to feel sorry for you? Believe me, that could happen to you. That's why you moved, because you're in fear. You're in fear for exactly what you think should happen to anybody else. Doesn't make any sense. The synapses are not working in your little mindset there. Aloe de Winter. I am fine, Michael Dowdy. How about yourself? Michael Dowdy always has a good attitude, Aloe. Aloe de Winter. A little bit of sun today. Keep the IRS away, as they say in France. Hey, Aloe. Hey, Aloe. Thanks for stopping by, too, buddy. I know how busy you are with your tasks. If I may ask, Scotty says, if I may ask, when was the precise moment you realized the round ballers are living in a fantasy with regards to the true nature of Earth? Okay, so I was 17. I was building a 21-foot cabin cruiser, and every day, almost all my neighbors, Gisela, Josephine and Joe Mealy, little Joel Mealy, Carl Vella, Bill Sharkey, the fighter, David Sears, John Sears, my dad, my neighbor. All my neighbors used to stop by every day and see. I was building a 21-foot cabin cruiser in the backyard. Mr. Babcock, his son Bruce, his daughter Marla. And every day they'd stop by. But my Uncle Jay would always stop by because he lived directly across the street from my mother and father, directly across the street and 60 feet to the right. And he was in charge of 12 Bell South facilities where all the wires and everything. So when I was doing the bus bars and wiring for the boat, I had to put fuse blocks in. I had to make a bus bar and a firewall with the fuse blocks. And my uncle always came over to make sure he showed me the proper way to solder, even though I learned all of that stuff in school. But he would always help me anything. There was a lot of wires. You had the front light, you had the side lights, you had all the electronics for the gauges, and the backlights. We had cigarette lighters on both sides of the boat. And not a lot of wiring, but anyway, he would come over and help me. But he would hang out. He just loved to watch me work, and he would always help if he could. And we were talking about gyroscopes one day. I was 18 years old, maybe. I put the boat in the water when I was in 1976, July 3rd of 76. I was 21 when I put the boat in the water. So for 4 years, it took me to build the boat. 21-foot cabin cruiser with an AQ 130 Volvo engine and a 270T Volvo Penta stern drive. So we were talking about, gyroscopes, and he explained to me how gyroscopes worked because he was a submariner in charge of batteries and gyroscopes. So I didn't know what a gyroscope. I knew what a gyroscope was because I learned it as a jet mechanic in school, but it's in theory shop. And they show you a gyroscope, but it's in theory. He gave me how they keep them spun up because he was in charge of the batteries and gyroscopes and how they work. In other words, you set them at a plane, you set it plane level, it stays plane level. Then if the boat goes up or down, they call the submarine a boat. If the boat goes up or down, it still stays level. So you can change the attitude and go down to 200 feet, but the gyroscope, when you take your hand off the yoke of the boat, when you take your hand off the yoke of the boat, the gyroscope will bring the boat back to plane level. unless there's other instruments that want to bring you back to 100 feet. That's a separate instrumentation package. So he explained all of that to me, and I said to him, how does the gyroscope know to follow the curvature of the Earth? And he went like this. He used to go, like that. There is no curvature of the Earth. And I didn't believe him. But I remember him saying it. He goes, there's like that. Because he wasn't going to try to teach me that there was no curvature. That wasn't, he knew it wouldn't be possible anyway. But that's how, he was really smart, this dude, Uncle Jay. So then he just said, no, there's no curvature. It goes straight. And basically I took his word. But in 2012, my friend Manny Skywatch, who everybody knows, he's a very famous blogger. Manny said the Earth is flat and kept saying to me, the Earth is flat, the Earth is flat, the Earth is flat. And I'm going, come on, Manny. He's going, Mike, we were very good YouTube buddies. Mike, watch these videos, the Earth is flat. I dismissed it. I knew better. In 2014, I moved to the Philippines, and then on March 16th of 2014, I moved up the block from where I am now. And I had nothing but time. It was actually March 16th, I moved to Alona Beach. Alona Beach, I stayed there until October. Excuse me. October was the rainy season. In October, I moved up the block in the rainy season. There was nothing to do. I had a girlfriend, but it was raining. No, just raining. October, November, December. It was a rainy season. And I opened up a flat Earth video. I watched one. And I said, you know what? They're right. The Earth is flat. And it took all of 2 hours for me to know that we were lied to. And then I did a bunch of videos on the topic on my other channel. Didn't get any traction with it and let it go. I did videos right out here. But they were crazy videos. They were really crazy. The Earth is flat. The Earth is I was like the town crier. I had everything but a bell. But the Earth was flat. And then from there, I kept it. I'll talk to anybody about it. No one has. My friends do not believe the Earth is flat. But some of them are not so sure it's round anymore. But my very good friends, the two pilots, they know the Earth is flat. And they'll never say it. I would never record them. But they know the Earth is flat. So I have two commercial airline jet pilots. One is an A&P like myself, and one is a pilot and an A&P. One's an A&P and a pilot, and one's a pilot. They both agree there's never any compensation for curvature, ever. Never. Not since day one. So if there's no compensation for curvature, there is no curvature. Now, did I need them to prove it? No. So I actually watched one video in 2014, then I watched a dozen more videos, and that's it. Water seeks its own level. Gyroscopes keep you at a certain plane. Planes don't dip down to follow the curvature of the Earth. Rivers don't run uphill. And we didn't go to the moon. We never went to the moon. And no one's ever going to make me believe that either. We have been lied to about everything. We've been lied to about more stuff than you can comprehend. And what about Fukushima? I don't know if they're lying or not lying anymore because you don't hear about it. But they said that 300,000 gallons a day were leaking into the Pacific Ocean, 1,000 miles from where I'm sitting, and would continue to leak into the ocean until they fixed the problem. But they were going to get the problem fixed. I don't know about that. I don't think they did. I don't know. I read an article popped up in my and they give you the option to watch a video. Something about Fukushima popped up because I had Fukushima, Gemstone Fukushima theories on my computer, and it saw me Google that on the computer, so it popped up a Fukushima water release update. According to the Fukushima water release update, it's still releasing 300,000 gallons a day. Exactly, like they know. And that's from rainwater. So, did they tell us the truth that they were going to have it fixed in no time? No. Jippity split? No. They didn't do it. They lie. They lie. They want your head. 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 They don't want to tell you the truth. So every video I've ever watched about flat Earth, the people that believe the world is round, they're always going like this. The Earth is round. We know the Earth is round. We know the Earth is round. And we know. That's an Illuminati hand sign to let other people in the Illuminati know that you're on their side. And the Illuminati wants you to believe that the Earth is round. And the cosmology of it all is that we spin around at 1,038 miles an hour, and the Earth spins around at 67,000 miles an hour around the sun. The sun is spinning around the universe at 500,000 miles an hour, and yet the stars don't change, ever. And the northern star, Polaris, never moves a degree off true north, ever. And no stars ever change where they are in the sky since the time of Socrates, since the time of the Egyptians. The stars have remained stationary in place. Since the times of the Aztecs, the accurate star mapping from the Aztecs, the stars have remained exactly in the same position. They call it parallelogram. I forgot the word. There's a word for it. But they've never moved. Ever. Not even this much. But in theory, if we moved around the sun at 500,000 miles, if the sun moved around the universe at 500,000 miles an hour, and the Earth moved around the sun at 67,000 miles an hour, well, it would be going like this. And every few minutes, the stars would change. The stars don't change. I'll have those words for you tomorrow. I'll put it down in my notes. But I knew for a fact in 2014. Vitamin D without the supplements. Michael's talking to Aloe. As to the state of his taste buds, I must concede, I am without possession of such knowledge. Well, if you coat your mouth with tar and nicotine, and you're a smoker, which that's what it does, if you smoke 3 packs a day, you develop a film of tar and nicotine in your palate, your gums, and your teeth, and your tongue. So most smokers, before they're going to have a nice meal like lobster or shrimp, they'll brush their teeth, their tongue with a tongue cleaning mechanism, it's almost like a tanning. Like you tan the hair off of a pig or a cow. It's like a whip, like a rake. And it takes just rub your teeth against your tongue and you'll have a white film. Most people, before they have dinner, they brush that off. I do. So I can taste better. But if you were going to, but if you smoke 3 packs a day and you see the guy smoking 1 cigarette every 8.5 minutes, puts the cigarette out, and then lights up another cigarette a minute and 20 seconds later, and he does that all day, his tongue, palate, gums, lips, and teeth are covered with tar nicotine resin. That's what you see In a car, if you smoke in a car, you see the resin on the window. Well, imagine putting 3 packs of that in your mouth every day. You're going to get a resin covering the inside. You can't taste anything. It's like putting a plastic bag on your tongue. You can't taste anything. Maybe if he brushed his tongue and his lips and his gums and his teeth, he'd be able to taste. But he doesn't do that. He goes right from smoking a cigarette. And how can you taste anything after you have 3 or 4 drinks? That also dulls the senses. So you people that are buying him filet mignon and T-bone steaks, he can't taste it. It might be easier to chew, but he can't taste it. What's the point? It's up to you, though. I'm brother from a different mother. My brother, Frankie B., he loves me, man. I love you, bro. He knows. He knows. He's a very smart man. He's moving into, he knows how to do, he's become quite the expert on plumbing knowledge, pump systems, high pressure vacuums and pump systems and water flow and gravity fed and electric and all that stuff, man. He's learning new stuff every day. The bummer, he don't learn anything new every day. The only new thing he learns every day is where to buy his cigarettes. And each day got to think up new lies as to why and where. How else am I going to get a bottle of Nob Hill? Come on. You guys, come on, put some money on. I don't beg. You guys want to put some money on the table so I could buy a bottle of Nob Hill and we could drink together? Give it a break, dude. No one takes you serious. They give you money. How's he chew steak? Michael, might as well ask me to prove the existence of Jesus Christ. I'd have a better shot at that. The bell, I'm going wild. The bell. Alo de Winter, he loves this. He loves when I ding the bell. Alo, this is everybody. See, all these other people, you give them money, they don't give you nothing. I make up songs. I give you the tune. I don't care. I never cared. I'm never gonna care. Can you taste the ribeye steak after you smoke 3 packs a day? No, you can't. Your tongue is not capable unless you clean your tongue. When was the last time you cleaned your tongue? Have you ever cleaned your tongue? That's what we want to know. Clean your tongue. Remember to get the mung on your tongue. Clean the mung off your tongue. Clean the mung off your tongue. Clean the mung off your tongue. Clean your tongue. Clean the mung from the tongue. Oh, and merrily, you'll be able to taste the ribeye steak. Yeah. Yeah, if you clean the mung off your tongue, you'll be okay. That's the truth. Alo, L-O. Thanks, Alo. In my informed opinion, that was an outstanding pot smash. Thank you, Michael, says Scotty. As I get older, my ability to bang a pot increases exponentially with age. Something, Flat Earth Society. Okay, so here's, I would not bring, thank you very much for bringing that up. Playing Xbox games 24/7 consumes a lot of electric. It does. See, what he doesn't know is that he's being watched by whoever wishes to tune in. And his landlord is paying. Do you know Scott Del Fuego's father would have bounced him off a wall if he left the refrigerator door open when he brought water to the table? My father, he told me, I don't know the exact words. He says, don't leave the refrigerator door open. And if, like, for some reason I forgot, I'd be standing there thinking about what I want, and all of a sudden, oh, close the door, Michael. Okay, close the door. He'd give you a little backhand. 2 or 3 of those, and you got this close the refrigerator door down pat. He never hurt us as a child. He never hit us hard enough to hurt us. He'd give you a backhand hard enough to make him understand, close the door. He told you to close the door. That didn't work. So we went to option 2, a little bap. Light, open hand bap. He called it a bap. You want another bap? Close the door. No, you don't want another bap. Bapping is bad. Sorry, Dad. And you remember to close the door. He would say, think about what you want before you open up the refrigerator door. Get it and close the door. He wasn't totally without honor. He would tell us the right way to open the door as a parent. And, well, he should. The electric costs money. And where is it going? And even the BAMMER, he doesn't even know how to stock a refrigerator. He said the less stuff in the refrigerator, the less electric the refrigerator uses. That's a false statement. Nothing to back that up. If you pack the refrigerator solid with salamis, hams, and turkeys, or ice, open the door, no air comes out because there's not much air. You close the door, the ice, the turkeys, everything in the freezer and the refrigerator makes the air cool again real quick. But when you have nothing in the refrigerator and he has nothing in the refrigerator, all the air comes out. Now the refrigerator has to make 12 cubic feet of air. Most efficient refrigeration ways to keep the refrigerator cool is to stock it with as much stuff, even water bottles full of water. The more stuff that's in the refrigerator and the less ambient air, the better. But he doesn't know that. So he gives you wrong information and tells you, don't leave too much stuff in the refrigerator. It costs money to make it cold. Yeah, originally it does. And what about when he takes out ice? He takes the ice out. He walks over to the table. Then he goes and gets a knife. Then he breaks the ice. Then he puts the ice in his glass. Then he puts the ice back in the freezer that's been open for 1 minute and 45 seconds. How would you like to pay the electric bill? The landlord saw that and said, hey, you can pay the electric bill or bounce. And he left. I bet you the landlord didn't even give him an option. So that's 24/7. And those monitors cost a lot of money to keep the monitors on. That's right. Flat Earth Society. He's a pathological liar. That was the word I was looking for. Broke expat John Barry is still in the same place. I don't know where he is. I have no need to know or want to know where he is. But one day, I am sure that my brother from a different mother, my brother Frankie B, I'm sure he's going to release that information because it's just the kind of guy he is. What if someone wants to send Barry a birthday card? Yeah, you never thought about that. Or what if someone wants to bring Barry a bottle of Nob Hill? Got to know where he is, right? But me personally, I don't care. I have no intention, no need at this time. I don't feel the need to go meet the guy. The guy's not going to be around. My brother from a different mother, he knows. He knows things. He knows what's on the table. He knows Barry's not going to be that long, so anybody that wants to visit him, you should go visit him because he's not going to be around much longer. I don't see it. I could be wrong. I could be right, but I don't see it. I don't see him being around. My brother from a different mother, he's a lot of things, but he also knows the law. He's and the confidence level that he's built up in the last few, you could see it. You could hear it in his voice, singing and happy and parading around like a peacock with his feathers spread I love you, bro. I love you, man. And you love me. I know that. So he knows things. He said in today's show he knows things. But we all know that the bummer has no passport, and you can't do your 60-day visa without the passport in hand and your ACR card. Can't do it. Not possible. Your 3-year visa. He videotapes going to get a hamburger, but doesn't video his trip out of the country. See the flaw in that logic? Let me get on to the next comment. That Michael Daddy, does anyone else think creeping around outside other people's houses is odd behavior for a grown? Of course it is. No normal person does that. Why do you think when he was doing the video at the end, did you see how he started running away? Because maybe I was looking out the window and didn't see it. Maybe I was looking at the ocean. But maybe he heard the voice change direction. Because when I was talking in the video, I was cooking. And when maybe I turned around and my voice was more projected. But he ran towards the end of the video because he don't want me to see him. He knows what he did is wrong. There's no doubt about that. Not going to affect me one way or another. He just thinks in his mind, because his mind, if it was me, I would have just walked up to somebody's house and says, hey, if I wanted to videotape somebody, I would walk up with a witness so that there'd be no misconception. And I would say, hey, I'm videotaping your house. I'm outside the boundaries of your property. I can do that. That's the law. You could do that. But he was sneaking around because he knew what he was doing in his head was wrong. And that's the kind of guy he is. Eventually that'll catch up with him. The Baron of Bantallion. Oh my God, you're not. Oh God, man, don't be talking about my brother. Don't be talking about my brother. The Baron of Bantallion may have answered the knock of the Lord in his heart. If he announces he is going to church tomorrow, that will confirm this notion. Oh boy, I gotta tell you, it ain't gonna happen. I love my brother like a brother, but I gotta tell you, that ain't gonna happen. Scotty, that would be great. Imagine that, man. I'll tell you what. If my brother from another mother says he's going to go to church, start going to church, I'll meet him in Cebu, and we'll sit down, and we'll pray together. It will be the meeting of infamy. I mean, a famous meeting. Two different things, by the way. All right, so, broke expat John. The earth is round and 9,000 years old. Okay. And yet nobody's ever proven that the earth is round. Nobody. There's how many trillions of dollars has NASA spent? You probably believe there's satellites circumventing the earth in a Clark orbit. C-L-A-R-C-K. Clark orbit. You probably don't even know what a Clark orbit is, but you or an AU. Tell me right now in the chat right this minute. Tell me what an AU is. AU, and tell me what a Clark orbit is. If you're so smart about the round earth, I'm immediately asking you. It's 3:04 on your time. I am asking you immediately put down what an AU is and what a Clark orbit is, and I'm going to go to the bottom of the page. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting. The last comment was 328 from Scotty. Tell me what an AU is and a Clark orbit. Please tell me right away. Put it in there. If you know what it is, it should have been typed in already, because you don't know what a Clark orbit is, nor do you know what an AU is. But that's okay. But you know the earth is round. Okay, so moving on. I'll let you guys figure that out on your own. Okay, so let's go back to the Scotty comment. Broke expat John, you're allowed for your opinion, but never has NASA ever never taken a picture of the earth. Never has a camera said snap and here's a picture of the Earth. Never. It's all images that are pasted together from computer graphics. Every video, every picture, every video of the so-called thing, the can that the people are in outside in space orbit. What's that called? So every picture, every image from space of the Earth is all CGI. And space station does not exist. It exists maybe in low Earth orbit, but not in space. Not 250 miles up. But you don't know that, so you can't prove it does either. Movie house. Even if he is violent, he is alone. Who is he going to get violent with? Seems like a pointless concern, LOL. I don't know whether he's violent or not. He says he is, but I think that's all smack talk is what I think. Broke expat John, stick around and learn, round baller. The Earth is not flat like a plate, of course. It is indeed mountainous, but there is no curvature of the planet. So thank you very much, Scotty. Dudes, water seeks its own level. There's enough information right there to prove that it can't be anything but flat. But there's a million other reasons. I'll get into most of them tomorrow. I didn't even open up my notes on flat Earth. I will do that tomorrow, and then I'm going to have I'll have the computer, the camera turned around at the computer, and we'll Google certain things, and we'll see if I can do some Socratic questioning with your questions and see if I can answer some questions that I may not have the answer to. Broke expat, it's 9,000 years. Okay, it's 9,000 years old. Well, I believe that. I believe the Bible that God put dinosaur bones and the bones of giants in the soil and made it appear that they were 100,000 years old or 50,000 or 10,000 years old. God did that. Yeah, because he's a sneaky dude, man. He's a very sneaky man. So, yeah, 9,000. Okay, where do you get the number 9,000? 3 to 12,000 years old. Well, the scholars say that the Sphinx is 29,000 years old. I don't know about that. You know, the problem with their numbers is that they can make any number they want up, but there's no real proof, carbon dating, but they make this stuff up as they go along. Originally, one philosopher said, I forget which one, Copernicus said the Earth was 4 million miles away from the sun. And Pluto, Pythagorean, the Pythagorean, I think that man said it was 90 million miles. And Aristotle said it was 95 million miles. No one's ever gotten the number right. And then originally the moon went around the Earth from east to west, but now it's west to east. It's so much stuff you can't prove. So they move you over to those venues that you can't prove it. I don't have a carbon dating unit, and how could I prove it? I mean, I don't have that kind of instrumentation. But one thing that is provable is that the pyramids are very old, and the Sphinx is much older. So when you say 3 to 9,000 years, I don't think that is a big enough number. But I can't prove it's not a big enough number. But it's not a big enough number according to geologists and also there is something called the Potemkin Pental, whatever it is, Potemkin, Kentapental. It's a Iranian thing. That's supposed to be 30 plus thousand years old. And there's cities under the water near Cuba that are 20,000 years old. So supposedly, and they know that the city by Cuba under the water has to be 20,000 years because the ice age happened 20,000 years ago. The melting of the ice. It's all nonsense. Doesn't matter when there was an ice age. The earth is flat. That's the only thing that I want to help you guys with. So, Michael Dowdy, it would take a wire brush to remove the plaque from his mouth. The tar, that's true. I own ice trays. Ice trays. I'm going to have to figure out the meaning of that. Thermal mass is real. Fridge topic. Yes, fridge topic. Thank you, Movie House. Yeah, the more mass or the more sustenance that you have in an enclosed area, the less air can be released when you open the door. Another thing, talking about air and air pressure, we don't have satellites in space. There is no such thing as a vacuum in space. It's such a simple concept. If you go like that, you suck in with your lips closed, you suck in your mouth, you cause a vacuum in your mouth, right? Lower pressure, right? Yes. The answer is yes. But if you open your mouth, the pressure equalizes. In order to have a vacuum, it's called Bernoulli's principle. You have to have a non-permeable barrier between the pressure and the vacuum. Well, that doesn't exist between Earth's atmosphere and space. Therefore, if space was a vacuum, it would suck our atmosphere into space. It's not complicated. If you have a can of spray paint, it's under pressure. Theoretically, outside the can would be a vacuum in comparison to the pressurized can. And when you punch a hole in the can, they equalize. Therefore, there can be no pressure or vacuum unless there's a non-permeable barrier between Earth and space. And we don't have that. It's just air. Air, atmosphere, air, whatever you want to call it. There is no such thing as space and vacuum. Oh my God, Scotty, it's heartwarming. We've both taken such a change in heart. Thanks, Scotty. I love my brother from a different mother. Hey, you know what? The one thing he said this week, it's got to stop. It really does have to stop. It really should stop. Will it stop? I don't know. I don't know that, but it should stop. So let's just hope that it does stop. Let's hope it stops. It would be nice. It would be nice if Barry just shut his trap, seriously speaking, and nothing happened to Barry, even though I don't like him and I would never have him work for me. I find absolutely no use for Barry in this world other than the humor factor. I mean, to watch him, the animated Barry is, if another, and they're watching, but if there was another species of creature, more intelligent, more advanced, civilized in their astrophysics and scientific endeavors and space travel, imagine giving them the BAMMER as an example of what Earthlings were. Imagine, imagine, a black ops team swooping down on Mole Ball and coming in and picking up Barry and, you know, shaving his head and brushing his tooth and then putting him in some clean clothes and then bringing him to the meeting place between the aliens and the Earthlings and say, this is one of our finest. We would be so screwed. We would be screwed. We would. An alien studying the Barry, the bummer. We would be so screwed. Oh, God. That would be funny. That would be funny. I'm sorry. I make myself giggle. Sue me. Oh. So Scotty said, it's heartwarming to witness your brotherly embrace of the Baron of North. Well, let's see, we have a lot now. We have a lot in common, Scotty. We have the bummer in common for the disapproval of his way of life in general. In general, his way of life every day with the alcohol, if possible, all the cigarettes, which he refuses to give up. The fact that he lies about everything. When have you caught me in a lie? I mean, you hear people say Fazio's a liar, but where? What is a lie? What is the lie that I have projected out that you guys can prove that I lied about something? Even the idiot said just this week when he was saying that Fazio, I was laughing at Fazio getting hit so hard I was rolling on the floor. The bummer said that. And even he said, word for word verbatim, that he believed it's okay for me to get attacked from the front or the rear or from above or below, whatever you want to call it, and that should be allowed. He said that yesterday. But more to the point, he has no redeeming qualities. Where? What? When? What he said this week, the bummer said last night at 54:35 in his yesterday's video, that I deserve, I'm a piece of SHIT, I'm a piece of that, and that I deserve to be hit because I'm a piece of, and I'm a liar. But then this week he also said that Fazio has no permits, he doesn't have any plans, and he can't build anything in the Philippines. Well, that's just sheer ignorance. Barry, would you like, I tell you what, I mean, you want to have a little bit of a contest, me and you? And what do you have? What do you have that's worth anything? And I'll wager what I have that's worth what you have that's worth something. And we'll see if I have permits or plans. Let's just say, your motorcycle is paid off and it's worth 80,000 pesos. I will go and get some money from the bank, and you put the registration and the title on the table, and I'll put the money from the bank on the table. And if I have plans and permits that are signed by engineers, we'll do this in the hall. And if I have plans and permits, then I take your motorcycle home with me. Okay? And if I don't have signed plans and permits with 6 tags, I think it's 6 tags and a general inspection. If I don't have those, you take the money, or I could put the drone, which is worth a lot more than your motorcycle, by the way, and I could put that on the table, and some cash if you want, but I'll put whatever you want on the table. And if I have plans and permits, we'll make a little wager. You and me, the money, the drone, the phone, and the motorcycle. We go to the building department and we put that stuff on the table, and we go to the lead building inspector and the engineers, and whose name is on the stamps. And if all my ducks are in order, I take your motorcycle home, and you go home and you lose. And if you win, you take the drone, the phone, and some cash with you. How's that, Barry? For opening up your big mouth and saying to people, I don't have plans and permits. Why don't you back it up? Because you can't back it up. But we got to do this right away, because you're not going to be around much longer, dude. We got to do that right away. I don't think you're going to be, I don't think it's going to be a matter. My brother from a different mother is pretty sure. And now that my brother from another mother we have so much more in common. I can't believe his educational skills, his ability to teach plumbing this week was amazing. Stunned me. I feel a bond between us. Just remember, the law of physics, shit rolls downhill. That's all you have to remember. And my brother from another mother, he is now an HVAC teacher of HVAC. That's one subsidiary of HVAC. Anyway, BAMMER, you put your motorcycle, I'll double what your motorcycle is worth. We'll put that on the table, and the registration. And if you lose, you sign the registration over to me. If you don't own the motorcycle, you have to bring the owner of the registrar over to, and the police will look up the registration, because the police station and the building department are 75 feet from one another. So you bring the motorcycle, the registration, and the owner of the registrar for the motorcycle, and I'll bring cash and the drone and the phone. And I'll bring it all any way you want it. Don't matter to me, because I'm going home with your motorcycle at the end of the day. You got to bring the owner of the motorcycle, though. So running your mouth didn't get you anywhere. It just got you to be proven to be a liar. Because you saying I don't have plans and permits, I can prove it. I've already put this out on the table for anybody. Any amount of money, any time of the day or night, will go down to the building office. You match me peso for peso, I'll take your money. I will take your money. I have plans and permits. So running your mouth, that just proves that you're a liar. A bigger liar than you were 10 minutes ago. You got a big mouth. So back it up, Barry. Back it up, BAMMER. The Baron has chosen the path of peace. Honestly, I think the demon has been cast out. They may have visited the witch doctor in Cebu. I wouldn't go that far. I do think he's changed course. I don't think he's plotted the future course out yet, but he's been, oh God, he was like a wet nurse to me. I mean, a comfort nurse. Oh, let's hope that Fazio's okay. But I don't wish bad on Fazio. I hope he's okay. But if he dies, I won't shed a tear. You gotta love that. You just gotta love the duplistic nature of my brother from another mother. You gotta love that part. I want him to get better, but if he dies, I won't shed a tear. That was gold, brother. I love you, bro. That was gold. Even if the earth was shrunk down, Scotty says, even if the earth was shrunk down to something you could hold in the palm of your hand, it would not produce evidence of curvature, because we would have to question the method to which it was shrunk. Hey, you, how you doing? LOL. No, it's not. Red Horse, buddy. Hey, buddy. Red Horse is coming to the Philippines shortly with his wife, who Oh God, his wife and let me tell you something about Red Horse. Very successful man, very successful man, and his wife. When she does Zumba, the world stops to watch. No joke, man. Her and Daisy used to do Zumba side by side together, and they always took the front in the front of the line, and you could see every guy in the whole place eyeballing the two of them. More so, Red Horse's wife. That woman has a body um, built to stop traffic. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Very, very pretty woman. Very pretty woman, Red Horse's wife. And she can Zumba. Holy macaroni. She could do the macaroni. She could do the Zumba. Her and Daisy, they used to knock them dead in Luna Beach. Thanks for stopping by, Red Horse. So Freebird says it's an astronomical unit, an AU. And an astronomical unit is the distance between the Earth and the Sun. 1 AU is the distance between the Earth and the Sun. And they say it's 93 million miles. So in Star Trek, when they say that Vija had an AU of 12, it's 12 times the size of the cloud of Vija was 12. It's 12 angstrom units, or 12 times 93 million miles. Thank you, Freebird. Yes. And a Clark orbit, are we getting to that? Scotty, adding contents to a refrigerator is no different than reducing the volume of the refrigerator. More content equals less area for air. You are correct, Michael, says Scotty. Well, this is the law of physics. It's not complicated. If you have to, when I freeze this bottle of water, I freeze 3 bottles of water in the freezer, 4 sometimes, and when you open the door, because my freezer is almost full, when you open the door, it takes up the volume of the refrigerator, so less air comes out. Thank you very much, Scotty. The Baron of Northern Cebu. You're talking about the plumber, right? The plumber in Cebu. We call him you can call him the Baron. He is a land baron now. Oh my God. Oh my God. He walks around, surveys his land. He does have a nice house. There's no doubt. His house is coming along really nice. There's no doubt about that. I was looking at that this morning. His house did a nice job on the house, brother, from a different mother. But his house is in it's in a location where it's open, so you're not congested with people and noises from cars and jeepneys and motorcycles. But it's too far from the ocean for me. But if he likes it there, and he likes it there, I mean, who am I, to argue with my brother from a different mother? I mean, but I wouldn't live there. Even if my brother said, Mikey, come live with me. Come live with me. We'll build an extension on the back of the house. I'll give you a room and an AC. And I said, bro, man, I can't see the ocean. And he said, well, I'll put up a 72-inch screen on the wall and we'll just play ocean video. I said, bro, man, I got to be able to see the ocean. Like right now, I'm looking at the ocean. I like the ocean. I've lived on the water or the ocean or a canal. 5 years, no. 19 years. 5 years, no. 14 years across the street from the water. 7 from 1977 to 1977 to 95 on the water, on a canal or the ocean. From 95 to 2013 on a canal. 2014, I lived right on the ocean in Pang Lao. I moved off the ocean from March 16th to October, where I couldn't see the ocean. I didn't like that at all. And then I moved to the Stanley House. So I've spent my whole life on the ocean. So, bro, nothing personal, but I can't live with you in the mansion. I can't do that. But I thanks for the offer. So I couldn't live there. It's even if all my bills were paid, electric, gas, food, I could eat steak for. I don't even eat steak, but if I want, I could eat anything I want forever. I wouldn't do it. I like to watch the ocean in the morning. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to go out and make a video of the reef, because at 6:30 in the morning, the reef is exposed tomorrow. If the weather's not nice, I'm going to do that. The Baron of Cebu did once mention that the Communist National People's Army is on the hunt in Mobile. No, I don't believe that. This isn't confirmed. Now, see, now you're trolling. No, they don't care about the BAMMER. BAMMER. No, that's a rumor. That's bad. You're a bad man. You're a very bad man, as Will Mummy would say. You're a very bad man. Scotty, the brotherly Baron seems to be linked to a sophisticated intelligence operation that I have never questioned. He has his finger on the pulse of the Cebu Police Department. That's for sure, yeah? I agree with you on that. My brother, he's got his finger on the pulse of the Philippines police. How hard would it be for them to housebreak him curled up in a ball at their feet? Down, boy, stop humping the neighbor's leg. Ha, ha, ha. I don't know. I don't know where Bummer lives, so I wouldn't know that. Have you unblocked your Italian brother from this channel? I don't think he was ever blocked. I don't know that he is blocked. That's a good question, though. I'll have to make note of that. He may have been blocked, but not by me. Oh, yeah. I did block him. I did about a year ago. You're right. I did that. Yeah, it was my fault. Scotty, I had to rewatch your brother's plumbing education video seminar 6 times. There was so much information compressed into a short video, I couldn't comprehend. The part of my brother's from a different mother's plumbing visual. Oh, God, did you get a visual? I hate to tell you this, bro, but I don't want to. When you were laying it out with the man, and you were saying automatic, man, my brother from another mother was laying down. You have to repeat certain words here in the Philippines. Automatic. If you say it too fast, it gives them a nosebleed. So you guys, where you think he was being facetious, he was not. He was trying to make the man understand he wanted an automatic water heater. And my brother from a different mother said, I want a 2-port water heater. And that guy who was selling the 2-point, P-O-I-N-T, 2-point water heater, I'm going to tell you something, and this I'm serious about. I'm being serious. I've been a licensed contractor my whole life. When those people, the plumber in the store, called it a 2-point water heater, they're wrong. And I mean they're wrong. A point in time means basically nothing. It's just an instant of time. But it's actually 2 ports. Where the boat leaves from Cebu is a port. Where the boat leaves from an Italian island, it's a port. Port means, to port something means to bring it to a port. To port something, you put it in something, or something comes out of. So my brother from another mother kept saying port, and the plumber in the plumbing supply is saying point. Yeah, it might say point on the box. And it might be that he was trained to say the word point, but point has nothing to do with plumbing. A port in a plumbing fixture is a place where water comes in or out. That's a port. 2 ports, 2 inlets, 2 outlets. 3 ports, 3. Points mean nothing. Point is just here. That's a point. Nothing happens. Just point the pencil towards the wall. It's a point. But a port means the pencil goes in and out of the hole. So my brother from another mother was laying it down. He was laying it down. He was laying down the plumbing law, man. He was educating. And even he said that when the guy said, no, it's called a point. And he goes, yeah, whatever. He was being facetious. But my brother from another mother was right. It's called a port. P-O-R-T. Don't make any mistake about it. He was trying to educate that plumbing guy in the building, and that guy was not accepting knowledge from my brother from another mother. But the word port, look up the word port, look up the word point. Point has nothing at all to do with plumbing or fluid dynamics. Port does have something to do with fluid dynamics. So my brother from another mother, he must have been doing a lot of reading about plumbing, because he's laying it down in that plumbing supply. And when he said automatic, do you have a digital? That they don't have a digital hot water heater should be a crime. A digital, they have everything in digital, but they don't have a digital hot water heater. So you are supposed to look up and without glasses see the fine line on a turning dial, on a rheostat. No, you shouldn't have to do that. My brother from another mother was right. Should be automatic, digital. Not 1 port, but 2 ports, not 1 point, not 2 points, 2 ports. I got to give him credit for that. He was right. I've witnessed, Scotty, this is melodramatic. I'm about ready to shed tears. Scotty says, I've witnessed the Baron's tender words of concern for his brother in the hospital. At that moment, I knew he was a changed man. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Of course. He wants to work hand in hand with me and have me help him with the plumbing, but I don't know that I can legally do that at this point, because I don't have a plumbing license. But I know he's trying to entice me to come up to the land. The land magnate is trying to get me up there to help him with the plumbing. The plumber's house sits on a peaceful pasture. I think he took time to scrutinize the area. Actually, that island is a very peaceful place. It's not overburdened with cars and trucks and jeepneys and horns. And he lives out in the boonies, because I lived a couple blocks away in Rick's place. A very quiet place. Even the main road, you'd only see a car every couple of minutes, every 10 minutes. You wouldn't see a lot of cars. Very, very secluded area. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's what people said. Being in a location that's inaccessible by vehicles at time meets his needs to obtain privacy. Even billionaires pay big bucks. He did it wisely on a budget. It's probably true. The NPA declaration isn't a troll. He did make, I saw that. I saw it. I saw that. But I don't think it's true. I don't think he even used the wrong words. It's not the National People's Army. It's the New People's Army. I watched the video. He he sometimes fluffs his words. Yeah, he does that once. Got it, he's getting old, So he did make the announcement. An intimidation tactic, but I can't say in any informed way. No, he said it, but it's not true. I don't believe it. He says a lot of things. The plumber was educating the sales guy at City Hardware. I think it all went over the sales guy's head because his understanding of water heaters and pressure pumps was outmatched by the plumber, that's for sure. The plumber had him hands down from the get-go. Definitely. My brother, he must have been the research that he did. David Polides, your brother from another mother should be a suspect in the... I could tell you a story about the son of Sam Murders. No joke. No joke. The son of Sam Murders happened where I lived. I lived in Howard Beach, Queens. Okay. One son of Sam Murder happened like 11 miles away, and 4 or 5 happened 8 miles away. And then there was one that happened on Shore Parkway. Now, I used to park on Shore Parkway. There's a parking, like a viewing area, like overlooking the Hudson River, right next to the Verrazano Bridge. It's right on Shore Parkway. It's the Belt Parkway. Shore Parkway is the inner parkway, Shore Parkway. And right a few thousand feet from the Verrazano Bridge, you can walk all along there, but there was a parking area there. I parked in that area all the time to watch the ships come in and out of the harbor. All the time I would park there. And if I had a girlfriend and we were coming back from the city, I used to go to Chinatown a lot. I would take the Brooklyn Bridge to the BQE to the Bell Parkway, and we'd stop and hang out and watch the ships come in and out of the harbor. Where I parked on Shore Parkway, on the Belt, but that was going east. On the way back on the way to the city was west. Well, where I parked on the west side, going west, was Shore Parkway. You'd get off on Shore Parkway Drive, or Shore Drive, and you'd park up on Shore Parkway, which was about 8 or 9 feet higher than the parkway, and you could watch the ships from Shore Parkway. So you could watch the ships from east or west. And plus, my friend, one of my best friends, Frank, his real name was Frank, lived on Shore Parkway where we used to park. And sometimes I'd go to his house and visit him and Doreen, and sometimes not. But I parked up there all the time. And I'd watch the ships. I used to like to watch the ships come in and out. Well, where I parked, a few days later, was where one of the murders occurred, son of Sam Murders. So in other words, I was a few hundred feet, but a couple of days off where one of the murders took place. And I remember that. It wasn't far from where we were parked. I don't know the exact number, but yeah, he was. I don't think my brother was part of that though. Should be a suspect in the summer. You're a funny dude, Michael Dowdy. I suspected the Green River Killer. I heard about. I don't know anything about that guy, but I heard he was a bad dude. I don't know. Did you hear what Hillbilly did with this first 50-cent piece? He married her. Whoa. Yeah, he's all kidding aside, he's not educated at all. He said yesterday, somebody said anonymously. He didn't know what the word anonymously and the second word attached to anonymously or anonymous, and it was something. But now, I mean, that's not his fault, because where he grew up, he didn't have an option for good education. But that goes across the board. Like when he says that Fazio's a liar, he doesn't have plans and permits. Well, what are you basing that on? Hillbilly. Bummer, what are you basing it on? Are you basing it on someone else's lies? And big mouth, hillbilly, bummer. What is it that you have that you can lose? I'll double the value of it. Except your life, because for me, that would not be worth anything. So some people could wager their existence on a wager, but you have no intrinsic value. But if you want to wager a motorcycle, I don't know. Maybe you have a, trying to think. Maybe you have a Wittenhauer watch. They're worth $1,000. I don't know. Maybe you got to hit a Wittenhauer watch. Or maybe you have a Swatch. $20 Swatch is worth $1,000 now. Maybe you have something. I'll wager you whatever it is that you want, Bummer, that I have plans and permits signed and ready to go. So when you say he doesn't, and I'll even wager you that I can work on the project and build myself, me doing the work. I'll wager you that. What part of the wager do you want to take? All of it or just some of it? Because I can do that. That's the way I have my paperwork set up. Bummer. Your lack of education to the Philippines law in general when it comes to building and permits and plans is zilch. Zero. You're a big zero. Not quite a boat zero. Not quite a boat zero, but you're a zero when it comes to education in construction in the Philippines and probably in America. So what is it that you want to wage? Do your show tonight. Tell me what you're going to put up. The motorcycle would be nice. I don't want a motorcycle. I could tell you what my next purchase is going to be, but you wouldn't believe it. So there's no point to that. But your contribution, your sacrifice will be much welcome because I have a plan to buy something that it's going to just, it's a toy, but I think I'm going to do it. Not like I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it. I could do it tomorrow. I could just make it happen. I don't know that I want it tomorrow though. I have the license. And I'm not. It's a talk anyway. Talking to a turnip here. He's not going to make a wager, so he's not going to help me with my next purchase. Did I ever hear what the hell? Freebird. Did you ever hear what the hillbilly did with his first 50-cent piece? He married her. That's cold, Freebird. That is cold. David Polides. Michael Dowds. Yes, also in Washington State. A lot of unsolved from his timeline living there. Yeah, there are some sick people out there. There's no doubt. That wonton killing, I'm pretty sure you're talking about the Green River murders. It's just wonton killing. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. I don't know. I don't remember that, Michael, about him being afraid to stop because of the New People's Army. I didn't watch the Bummer back then. I mean, I heard about him. I heard people talk about him, but I never watched it. I guess that fella never did tell me what an angstrom. The fella that said the Earth is 9,000 years old. I don't believe that. I've done a lot of. I watch a lot. I mean, more than. I watch a lot of stuff on natural history, not the channel, but ancient civilizations, weird stuff, stuff that should not exist, but yet they're making movies about it now. There's a place in Europe, the Bavarian It's a culture of people that date back a very, very long time. Maybe somebody will put it up on the screen. And they are the builders. They're known as the builders. And somehow, like the spot that the plot of land that the Empire State Building is on, the building that was on there before was built by this society of builders. The Chrysler Building was built by these builders. These are architects with knowledge of building and construction that far supersedes the normal architectural building codes and levels that we have now. But it superseded that for 500 or 700 years. And there's a place that they have, and they're known as the builders. And the building that was before the Empire State Building was from these people. And there's a whole entire segment of Europe. It's like the middle of Europe is where these people ruled the world from. These were the people that ruled the world. Society, before there was a Catholic Church, before there was a Vatican, these are the people that ruled the world. And they have castles that make the castles that you might see in England look like child's play. I'll look it up maybe for tomorrow. Let's see. Michael Dowdy, all fiction. They had a camp here in the 1970s. I was watching to see whom when I was locked out. I don't know what that means. Michael, thank you for doing the Flat Earth talk earlier. I hope you keep doing more Flat Earth talks. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to put a pair of headphones on, and I'm going to listen to an Eric Dubai Flat Earth, the 6-hour and 2-minute one, and then I'll talk about what he talks about and share the information, because he happens to be, I actually, for the first time ever, he responded to a statement I made on his website, which I thought was interesting. He's got 175,000 subscribers, and I sent him a little note, and he said thank you, and I'm sure if he looked at what I pointed out to him, I'm sure he'll be interested in that, because he just did a video on the Illuminati and the Skull and Bones Society. So I sent him a link to my other channel with the video of the dollar bill with the skull and bones on it, and he said thank you. Whether he watched it or not, I don't know. But if he does, I may or may not hear back from him. It might not be something he'd be interested in, but it's interesting to me because I discovered the skull and bones on the dollar bill. Most of my friends are all round ballers. Yeah, that's strange. And you know, the funny thing is, Flatter, Scotty, here's the funny thing about ballers, round ballers. If they sat down with the video I had on the screen before, 200 proofs, the Earth is not a spinning ball, and they researched it on their computer. Is this true? Did this experiment happen? Can we do this experiment? And at the end of watching, it would be a 2-hour video, but it would take them about 16 hours to go through the experiments and to find proofs on the internet. But if they did that, at the end of 16 hours, they would be flat Earth people. It took me all of about 2 hours of watching a couple of flat Earth videos to realize, yeah, the Earth is flat. Because I already had the knowledge of gyroscopes, Water seeks its own level. Physics in general, triangulation with a sextant to figure out distances between the sun and the moon and the earth and the sky, and plotting courses. I had to do all of that to get my captain's license. So I already had that knowledge. Plus, I learned it in aviation high school as part of a class in theory, flight theory. They called it flight theory. And we had also, when we did civil air patrol, when we got to go up in a Cessna, you had to take flight theory before they'd let you take off in a plane. And then at least you'd have an idea what you were doing. And that was in preparation if you wanted to become a pilot or go to Oakdale State College later on. But that was expensive. That was $25,000 a year. And I wasn't eligible for a scholarship for that. And my dad wasn't going to pay it, so I never did become a pilot. But I did enjoy flying in high school. I built a couple of planes, but I already knew all the, like, longitude, latitude, right? At the equator, between the longitude lines, I think it's 19 miles between each longitudinal line. Well, when Admiral Byrd went up to Antarctica, now 0 latitude is the equator, but when they went up past the 67 parallel, they were still, it should have been 12 miles between the latitude lines of latitude, but it was still 19 miles because the Earth is flat. It's those things like that that prove that the Earth is flat. Yes, water seeks its own level. All liquid does. It's fluid dynamics. Well, I've noticed that most round earth shells are not really interested in learning about the flat earth. They know it's flat, but they're just not going to admit it. They either work for the government or there's something wrong with them inside their head. Why can't they fly across polar mass from side to side, be faster from going from Chicago to China instead of around? Well, no one knows the answer to that. Theoretically, their reasoning, Michael, is that it's too cold. But that's nonsense. They say that it could be as cold as 40, 50, or 60 degrees below zero above the Antarctic. Well, they fly through that every day when they go up to 40,000 feet. The cold parts of the stratosphere are 50 or 60 below all the time. Jet engines thrive. The colder it is, the more thrust they get, and the more lift on the on the airfoils, the more lift. So they thrive in cold weather. But they say, hey, Jack, hey, buddy. My friend Jack is here. Jack Thompson. Let's give him one day on the pot. Like in the Hunt for Red October, give them one ping. Jack Thompson is in the house. Jack Thompson is everywhere, man. Jack Thompson. He's the one who started. He's the one who started me with started the not the problem, but him and I. You have no idea our friendship between me and Jack. Okay, so with me and Jack, we get on the phone with each other sometimes for an hour, 2 hours, and we end up fighting with one another all the time over some stupid thing. But this has been going on for 6 years now. So when Brevis came up and heard me and Jack fighting, that happens all the time. People think, oh yeah, he had a fight with Jack Thompson. I have a fight with Jack Thompson 3 times a month. Jack Thompson and I have been talking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a month or more every month for 6 years. We talk to each other. I'm hanging up now, mother. And then he hangs up. And a couple of days later, I call him, or he calls me, and I call him back because I have Skype and he just uses his phone. And we talk like nothing happened. Like that argument that we had 3 days ago, doesn't even there, it didn't count. It's just another argument because one of us is messed up in the head and the other one doesn't understand that they're not going to make one of us, or one of us isn't going to bow down to the other one's wishes. And that goes both ways. Jack is way smarter than me when it comes to structural, architectural, engineering, and construction stuff. Way smarter than me. But then I have my expertise too. But when we talk shop, we don't argue much when we talk shop because we both agree on how to build stuff. We both agree that men shouldn't wear jewelry. We both agree men shouldn't wear rings on the job site. We both agree on anything talking shop, but when we get into other stuff, oh God. Sometimes one of us is a big a-hole and the other one is a bigger a-hole. So don't think that Jack Thompson and I fighting was anything new or anything serious, because we don't take it serious. You could ask if Scott was awake and here, he'll agree with you. He knows all about this stuff. I don't argue with Scott like that though, because Scott has a different personality. Jack and I can argue. Scott and we converse. I don't think Scott and I have ever had an argument, ever. Scott gives me advice, like put an industrial grade ace bandage on my leg to keep the swelling down on the ankle. And he's right about that. But if I do that, then whatever I put on the wound gets embedded into the fluid and it becomes problematic. So I have to only keep it on my ankle. But Scott and I talk about different things. And Scott's always doing work around his house, and I'm always explaining to him how I would do it. I don't have to do that with Jack because Jack knows how to do it. So we argue about other stuff. But Scott and I don't argue. The pilots that I know that I'm friends with, we keep it simple. We have nothing but what part of the world are you in now? One of them, well, I can say where he is. One of them is in South Jersey today as of the 6th, but he was in North Jersey on the 5th. And he's going to Argentina in a few days. And we talk about the foods in Argentina. And we talk about, he's married, and we talk about the culture of Argentina. And just to pass the conversation. Yet he likes, we'll talk to each other maybe 20 minutes a month, sometimes more on Skype. But this month I asked him to confirm that there's no dipping down when they're flying across from one place to another. Last month he was in Alaska, and then he went to Argentina, and he came to Jersey for the holidays, and now he's going back, I think, to Argentina. And then he spends a lot of time in South America, Rio de Janeiro, in those places in there. And he tells me what it's like and the types of foods. But I asked him about some flat earth, so he confirmed 100% that there's no dipping down, there's no compensation for the curvature of the earth. And I'm not going to tell you who he is or what I don't even know what airline he works for, so I couldn't say it. But it's not something that I'd want to share anyway. I've known him going on 3.5, possibly 4 years now. And we talk on occasion. The other fella is a friend of mine. He's been a friend of mine my whole life. He's a pilot. But he agrees also. He confirms what pilot number one said. The earth is flat, man. It's like, I don't need convincing. You, and you people, why get into the theoretical, philosophical reasoning, why they say the earth is round? They have all kinds of reasons. I don't care about their reasons for that. But you should understand that NASA spends $58 million a day predicating a lie on the people of this world. And that's how they get money from us. But we could talk about the launches, the space shuttle. I lived in the same exact location from 1995 to 2013. From 1999, I lived across the canal. 2005, I lived on one side of the canal. 1995, I lived on one side of the canal. And from the roof, I could watch the space shuttle take off. And after 1999, I lived on the other side of the canal. And from my balcony, I would watch the space shuttle pass by my house about 20 miles offshore. And then when it got like 25, 30 degrees off perpendicular, then you'd hear the roar of the engine. But day or night, you could see the smoke in the day and the flame and the smoke at night. Why 600 miles from launch are they still going horizontal? Because they don't go into space. They land someplace in the ocean. And they pick up, if there's anybody in there, they pick them up. And if they're not, they pick up the empty capsule. But there's nobody went to space in the space shuttle. Nobody went there. Space shuttle took off, rolls over, and travels 600 miles past my house off into the sunset. Nobody goes to space. Nobody's ever been to space. I gotta go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the conversation. Barry, anytime you want to make any wager that you want, I'll wager your motorcycle against my i13 Pro phone, which costs more than your motorcycle, and my Mavic Air 2S drone, and 6 sets of propellers, and 1 extra battery, and a high-end 6-way charger, and the box, which is worth more than your motorcycle by itself, that box. So, Barry, do you feel confident when you say that I'm a liar and I have no plans or permits? Do you feel confident? Does that make you feel like a big shot repeating a lie? Just let me know, buddy. Oh, my brother from another mother. I didn't mean to call him my buddy. I apologize. That was wrong. That was wrong. It's taking sides. I shouldn't have did that. Jack Thompson. Okay. Flat Earth Society. Yeah, 35,000 feet is where it goes down to 40 to 60 below. Same temperature. You're right, Michael Dowdy. Flat Earth Society. Big Kevin and Don C. making fun of you, Michael, because you're a flat earther. Big Kevin. Are you talking about Big Kevin the idiot? The one? Is that the Big Kevin you're talking about? Big Kevin doesn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. If it wasn't for his benefactors, he would have no money at all. Nothing. Zero. He's not capable of making money, and he's been given about I don't know, somewhere $6,000 that I could pretty much be sure of in the last 6 or 7 months. Somebody paid off his entire back immigration. I think they got it down to $4,000, I think. But it was 7, I don't know, but I think it was, the lawyers worked it out at 4,000. So that was a gift. And then just recently this week, somebody else gifted him $200 because he messed up his credit card. He has no ability to earn money other than to be a sarcastic idiot on YouTube. That's his only ability. His sarcasm and his basic ignorance. And he is ignorant. Some of the stuff, if you listen to what he says, he's ignorant. There's no doubt in my mind he's an ignorant man. He might have had a job where he made a good living and he at one time, but now he's pretty much reduced to an ignoramus on YouTube. He has no ability. He can't walk around the lake. Do you ever see him take a walk? No. He has no ability to work because of his injury to his head, which isn't his fault. So his only way to make money is to be sarcastic, mean, and malicious towards other people. And when an idiot like that makes fun of me, I kind of brush it off. Don C., on the other hand, he's a very smart man, but he's a very sarcastic man. He needs the thrill of digging, throwing digs at people. Kevin does it because he's an idiot. Don C. does it because it gives him a thrill. Either way, what they say doesn't affect me at all. Neither one of them could debate me. They could, but they'd lose. But Kevin can't debate anybody on anything. Yeah, like that. Yeah, he told Fazio we want to see him get better. And then for the rest of the show, he's throwing digs at me. Well, letting other people throw digs at me. Big Kevin is a moron with arms and legs. That's all Big Kevin was. For years that I know him, I don't watch his worthless shows. I don't see anything interesting. I don't find his humor funny at all. At one time, it was a little funny, but he has no other way to make a living other than to be a sarcastic prick. If it wasn't for his sarcasm and his ability to let other people be sarcastic and spew lies on his channel, he wouldn't have a channel. And that goes across the board for all of them that back him up. Why would any intelligent person in the world back him up, other than the fact that these intelligent people are, in my opinion, borderline psychopaths and certainly narcissistic personality disorder, bordering sociopaths. That's what Big Kevin's followers are. How can you get 30 people on Big Kevin's channel believing that it's okay to walk up behind me and attack me when I'm sitting down doing a show if they weren't sociopathic psychopaths with NPDs, borderline personality disorders? How could you get that? You can't, because that's the level of intelligence that you get on that moron's channel. He's a moron. He's a moron that thrives on being sarcastic. And why, you ask, does he let people talk smack about me getting attacked and that it's okay that I got attacked, but him, look what happened to him. His own, according to his own personal speech, his own family shoved a bolo in his head. He must have did something awful nasty to get that bolo in his head. He said what it was, but I won't repeat it because I didn't see it happen. If he said what he said is true, well, then that's why he got that. But for him to allow other people to make fun of me because I was attacked, that's just wrong. Same thing with the bummer. The moron thinks it's okay for people to attack me from behind, yet he's on the run so people won't know where he lives. See the duplistic nature there? The moron thinks it's okay to attack Fazio. It's funny. It's okay to stalk Fazio. That's funny. It's okay when Fazio got pounded down. That's funny. Couldn't stop laughing, rolling around on the floor. And yet he's doesn't want that to happen to him, so he moved. Well, why is it okay to happen to me? What if, hey, Bummer, real question, what if somebody just walks up to you and cracks your head wide open? Are you going to say, well, I'm not going to go to the police? You already made that statement. If anybody bothers me, I'm going to get the police here. They're going to jail. You already said that. So we know you're not going to fight anybody. You already said you're not going to fight anybody twice your size or younger than you. But it's okay for that to happen to me because you're a stupid man, Bummer. Your level of intelligence is very low IQ, right across the board. And the fact that you're running your mouth that I don't have plans and permits, let's put some money where your mouth is. Tell you what, Bummer. Tell you what I'll do. Bummer, listen carefully, schmuck. Listen carefully. I will pay all your lawyers' bills. I will pay them all of it, everything. Everything you can give me a receipt for, and everything that you need to go to court to fight my brother from another mother. I will pay your bills. If you come here with the registration to your motorcycle and the owner of the motorcycle and that person's ID, proving that the name on the registration is the person that you're bringing to Bahal, I will pay your lawyer's fees to present date, and I will pay all your lawyer's fees into the future. If you come here and we go to the building department and you make that statement that I have no plans or permits, I'm going to lay, let's just say I'm going to lay $5,000 on the table, which will cover your bills and your future bills. Okay, if that's what I need to do, I'm going to put $5,000 on the table. But you have to bring the motorcycle and the person who the motorcycle is registered to Bahal. And we're going to go to the police department, which is 75 feet from the building department. And we're going to find out if that's the legal owner of the motorcycle. Him or her who owns the motorcycle has to have government ID. And then when we go to the building department with my plans and permits that I will have in my hand, I have them now, and I've had them for years. We go to the building department, we confirm that the plans and permits are mine, you sign the motorcycle over to me. And if I'm lying about the plans and permits, I'll give you $5,000. Big mouth. How's that, Bummer? Did I just put you in your place, little man? You little lying, creepy little man. Why do you have to make such stupid statements? Does it make you feel good? I will do that. If you don't think I can do it, I can. And I will. Keep running your mouth. Tell people that you come into Bahal with the registration and the owner. That we'll go to the police department first. We'll find out that the registration is to the owner's name. We'll look at the VIN number on the motorcycle, and we'll make that wager. And we'll find out what you're made out of. Tough guy. You run your mouth, and you don't know what you're talking about. I've put this offer up to anybody, hotel plans and permits. But you stating that I can't, and then we'll go to the building department, and we'll see that I have the plan under my name, Michael Fazio. My name, my plans, my lease, my plans. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up with that, big mouth. You can't, because you don't own the motorcycle. You never own the motorcycle, maybe. But if you do, think about this, you moron. You don't have to, you keep the money that you begged for. You keep the money that you gave the lawyer, and I'm going to put $5,000 on the table. And you keep that too. I put the drone, I put my iPhone 13 Pro Plus, I'll put my Galaxy 21, I'll put several $1,000s in cash. I'll put it all in cash. I'll put it all in items. You can have toys when you're done. You can have it any way you want. Bummer. Bummer? What's up with that, Bummer? Come on, Bummer. Come on, Bummer. Be a man. And think about this, Bummer. If you win, you can turn that money into something that will get you off the island of Cebu. Maybe as far as Vietnam. You can pay off the guy who's holding your passport. I think it's a $500 bond you have with him. You can pay that guy off. You get your passport back. You'll have $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 left over from the money that you pay your girlfriend back with. Because if your girlfriend comes with you and you owe her money, she gets the first piece of the cash. She gets first. It's like a mortgage. So if you owe your girlfriend $500 or $1,000, she gets that first. You get the rest. Bummer. How's that sound? Bummer. 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 How's that sound? Bummer. As far as Big Kevin and Don C, they're trolls. That's all they are. They're just trolls. Kevin is an idiot. Don C is an intelligent idiot for doing what he does. It's what he does. It's all he does all day. He doesn't do anything else. He doesn't have anything else to do. He's retired. He follows the YouTube genre and he trolls. Nothing wrong with that, really. He's never said anything so egregious that it would affect my life. Kevin, though, on the other hand, he lets people say whatever they want on their channel. So when Kevin thinks that's okay, well, I don't think it's okay. And that's why I don't watch his crap. I don't listen to his nonsense. He's a liar and he's an ignorant man. He has no ability, as my brother says, stand on his own 2 feet. He can't even walk around the lake, man. He can't walk anywhere. He can't work. He has no ability to earn a living at 57 years old. He's totally useless. We're paying his welfare. He's on the dole for welfare and SSI and free government operations and shit like that. He has no money. He's broke. He gets his money from people that feel sorry for him. That's okay, though. But then he runs his mouth about people like me who got attacked. Knowing it's wrong, he makes fun of it. Lets people talk about Daisy May. Knowing it's wrong, he makes fun of it. Because a piece of work is what he is. He's a piece of useless. He's a useless blogger. More useless than other bloggers and less useless than others. But he's a useless human being. He's what Henry Kissinger called a useless eater. Once they have done everything that they have to do to add to society, at that point they become a drain on society and become a useless eater. And the same with Bummer, a useless eater. They don't put anything back into society. What does Bummer put back into society? Alcohol and cigarette tax money and the occasional Oreos and who the hell eats Oreos and there's another lie. The Bummer said he only drinks Coca-Cola once a month. Oh, dude, for 2 years you've been drinking Coca-Cola. You just switched to iced tea 6 months ago. You drank Coca-Cola 24/7. Go back and watch the videos in front of Cliff's place. He would drink 8 or 10 little bottles of Coca-Cola while he was there. He lies about everything. He lies about everything. I gotta go. Running out of water. Running out of daylight. I'm gonna go. I'll read the comments and I'll go. Jack Thompson, brotherly pricks. We fight all the time. I seen a guy lose his finger and fall 20 feet because of a ring. He wouldn't take it off and said he loved his wife so much. That's ridiculous. Just don't let them on the job site. Nobody comes on my job site with jewelry. If I wanted to wear a neck chain, I would wear a neck chain. But that was it. Nobody else wears jewelry on my job. They could wear a neck chain, but no rings or bracelets. Jack got picked up by the space shuttle on his way to Thailand. Freebird said thank you. Hey, Freebird, thanks for becoming, I don't even know what that is, a member of my channel. Thank you. Mara Paka, the earth is square. No one actually knows what shape the earth is, but we know it's flat. Don C is playing the game. That's right. He's just a good troll. He's a good troll. He really never said anything that bad. He has the ability to troll people. But Kevin is an idiot. And he couldn't make a living without his doing stupid stuff on his show. Fazio and the Bantayan Baron. You're talking about the plumber in Cebu? The plumber in Cebu. The plumber in Cebu. Hi-ho the Dario. The plumber in Cebu. That's right. Scotty says Kevin goes whenever the wind direction of the wind blows, the set by the viewers in his chat. He's happy as long as he gets views. But he also is a sarcastic prick. When he allows a person, anybody, and I don't care who it is, to talk about an innocent woman in a sarcastic manner that he's allowed for years, he's a piece of garbage for doing that. But that's what gets him views. He's a piece of garbage. Look, Kevin, you have no idea what a good woman is because you've never had a good woman. Now we got another fund. Did anybody hear about the last fund that someone was trying to get going for Kevin? They wanted everybody to give Kevin $100 so he could go to Brazil to get a date with a Brazilian woman. Come on, man. Really? So they wanted, their goal was $1,200 to get Kevin to Brazil so he could get a date. Kevin doesn't have $1,200. Kevin has e-begged $20,000 in the last 5 years. And he doesn't have $1,200 for a vacation? Why? Because he pisses it away on worthless trinkets in his office. A camera, green screen, a different computer. He says, Oh yeah, here's another lie from Kevin. This is a lie. This is a lie. When Kevin said that his children got to Australia because of his help. Now, he didn't lie per se, saying that he gave the money to get the children to Australia, which he did not. He collected the money so that his children would have money towards their airfare, getting their passports and their paperwork. He collected several $1,000s towards setting his children up in a position that they would get passports, legal paperwork, immigration, and permissions from the Philippines government to go to Australia to be with their natural mother. He did collect the money, but he didn't use the money for that. He may have used the money for an operation. He may have used it to buy toys, but he did not use the money that he collected for the Children's Fund 2 years ago for the children. But just recently he made it sound like with my help, my children got to Australia. And then he exposed himself for the liar that he is. He said, Kevin Hankinson, signed the paperwork which allowed my children to go to Australia because without my signature, they couldn't go. That was his donation to get his children to a better life. So the money that he took from the people 2 years ago did not go to helping his children get the paperwork that they needed. He never showed any proof to that. He only collected the money, and no one knew what he did with the money. That's different with me. You send me money for something, I'm going to do that thing, buy that thing, purchase that thing, put it towards that thing. He never does that. He just collects money, so he's a liar. Did he play an important role to get his children to Australia? Yes. He signed the legal papers necessary to allow them to leave the Philippines. Did he do anything else to get his children to Australia? No, he just signed the papers. But he made it sound like he was a big man, a star, a prince among men. He's a liar. He's a liar and he's a fraud. So knowing that, as I do, and I've kept track of him, show me some paperwork. Show me receipts. Can't do that. He couldn't even balance his miserable little checkbook, whatever's in his checkbook. He couldn't balance his checkbook. He owed, somebody had to give him $200 to straighten out his bank account. Just 2 weeks ago, he called the guy an angel. And the guy is an angel for giving him the money. He's an angel to Kevin. He's an angel. But Kevin is incapable of intelligent thought because of the bolo, because of the medication that he takes. Who knows? But he couldn't balance a bank book. You see me begging for people to pay my bills. When you gave me money to buy a drone, you didn't even give me half the money I needed to buy the drone and the phone. But I went out and bought it anyway. When you gave me money to buy, when Warren gave me money to buy a computer and a phone, I gave every penny of that to buying a phone and a drone and a phone and a computer. Every penny of it. If I tell you, when you gave me money to go travel, to go video the ruins in Bantallion Island, I went to Bantallion Island. I videoed the ruins and the pizzerias and the restaurants on the island. I did with the money what you asked me to do with it. Kevin knows no such thing, and neither does the BAMMER. They're frauds. They're the Jim Baker of Kentucky and the Jim Baker of the Philippines. They're worthless trolls. Jack Thompson says, oh, wow, that's a hard challenge. I'd actually back up with real money. Of course. Anybody that knows me knows that I would do that. But if Jack Thompson wants a piece of the action, he can have a piece. His passport, I don't think his passport's expired. But I don't know. Freebird, thanks. Bye-bye, Freebird. Thank you. Thanks very much for becoming a member of the channel. Kevin is a fly-by-nighter. They are both here for Oreos. Send Kevin and Barry Oreo money. Kevin Hankinson should send money to my children. He should. I gotta go, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I'm not going to say I love you. I'm not going to say I'll say a prayer for you. I don't do any of that stuff. You guys, all you need to know is that my brother from another mother, he loves me, man. I know it. You know it. He's turned the corner. When he got involved, in depth, as a plumber, as an HVAC contractor, when he was teaching the guy selling him the plumbing equipment, the difference between a port and a point, I gained all kinds of respect for him. All kinds of respect. The fact that he knew more about plumbing than the guy selling the plumbing equipment. I love you, bro. I gotta go. All right, guys. Bye-bye for now. Thanks for watching. Remember, I will tell you, push the like button. Come on. That's the least you could do. What do they call that? Ball sack? Ball sack? Ball sack? Ball sack? Push the ball sack. Come on, guys. Push the ball sack. 18 thumbs up? Yeah, baby. That's the most thumbs up I ever got. Thanks very much. I'll wait for a couple more. Come on, two more. Two more. Make it 20. I'll be like the BAMMER. I'm getting all of these negative traits. Push the thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Ball sack. Ball sack. Come on. Ball sack. Ball sack. 19. Ball sack. Ball sack. Push the ball sack. Hit the ball sack. Come on, guys. Hit the ball sack. Ball sack. Ball sack. Bally bag sack. Bally bag. All right. All right. We're going to stay steady at 19. Thanks very much for watching. God day to everybody from Michael Fazio and Daisy May in the Philippines, baby. Bye-bye for now. Oh yeah, that's something else I should talk about. Yeah, yeah. I don't go around from woman to woman. You know, I wouldn't do that no matter, even if Daisy and I were never going to see each other again. I'd find another steady girlfriend, but I wouldn't date like 12 women because I give them I interview them. I interview the women before I date them. If you think I'm kidding, I'm not kidding. I used to interview people to work for me. They can either do the job or they can't do the job. Thanks for watching. God day to everybody. Yes, he's an arrogant little man he is. Bummer! Bummer! 5,000 US dollars against your motorcycle. It's a win-win for you, buddy, if I don't have the plans. I'm Big Permy from the Philippines, baby. And of course, Amping Permy means take care always. Bye-bye for now.